Oh my goodness, and just like that, I think we are live on a Wednesday night. Let's just get started. What is going on? You are watching and listening because you can watch us on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/tags podcast. I am your host, Steve V. It's a Wednesday night alongside Teddy Alexis. Hey, Teddy, you've been holding down the fort while I've been in who knows
I
where,
know.
Iceland, the Highlands. What does it feel like to
Yeah.
be 3 weeks in a row?
I mean, I feel like I want to be on the other side of the of the video
Yeah.
today, but it's okay. I
Okay,
love my three-peat. I got a lot of really good feedback. I sent you some of the emails that I
you
got,
did.
so
Yeah.
I'm very thankful to be here, and thank you everybody for listening. And here's one more.
Exactly. It's always great having a professor and your knowledge, and so good. And tonight is no different. This is episode 767. And I just want to kind of get right into it. If you want to, today we are really blessed to have an amazing artist, The Rose. If you want to bring him up to the stage, unmute his mic,
Of
who has
course.
a brand new film that is out right now that is going to called Artifice. And hello, The Rose. How are you?
Hey. I'm so blessed to be here. Thank y'all so much for having me on Talk About Gay Sex.
Absolutely. Well, let me just introduce your film because you have a brand new film or film that came out that has made its way to Newfest, Seattle Film Festival, and now the iconic Frameline Film Festival. Let me tell you, I've had several filmmaker friends of mine try and get their films into film festivals, and Frameline, it's like, it's one of the most iconic, and their films are great. They do not accept everybody. There's a lot of film festivals around the world. To get your film in this is huge. It's called Artifice. You wrote it's about a meditation on a mystic woman haunted by pronouns, personality, and projection through poetry, which you write. Presence and subtle exposition, the film forgoes a conventional narrative structure in favor of circling around its thesis. What can you really know about a person? They shift in the light. So, first off, congratulations on the film. It will be premiering June 22nd at the New Parkway for the iconic Frame Line at 8:30 p.m. And I imagine hopefully tickets are still available. But
Yeah.
congratulations. And this film, where did it all begin? Because I've seen some of your work here in New York, which is you're a poet. You
Yeah.
This
Oh,
is cinematic. This is got a score. It's like I said, not using the normal narrative, but your poetry. How did this all come about? And tell us a little bit more about the inspiration for your short film.
mm. Well, first of all, thank you so much for being there at that event that I did at
Yes.
Performance Space, New York. That was a pivotal moment for me in my artistic career. It was the first time that I really had any institutional platforming.
Mhm.
So it just all started to feel like real for the first time. Like, okay, like there is a pathway, to this. Like, I'm seeing people, around me who are, doing things. And I'm like, oh, maybe I could do that. Maybe I could do that. Like I started to see paths that I had never seen before. And I had made a short film with my friend, Quinn, who is so dear to me. And it was during the pandemic, and it was just for fun, we didn't really have much to do. Like, we were just kind of bumming around as
Mhm.
we all kind of were at that time, and we were just recording stuff, and I was writing stuff, and then we just compiled it all into a short. And through that experience, I showed it to people, and they were like, "Oh, like, you really have something here." And that gave me the validation to be like, okay, like actually maybe I can do something more. But it took me a long time to get to that place of being able to write Artifice. And it was actually, I think, going to Newfest the year prior, that really just like got my gears turning, watching all those films, like just seeing the broad spectrum of
Mhm.
of narrative at play, and also, finally having, I think, a story to tell too. You have to reach that place where you have something real to say. I don't think that, like, we should be saying nothing, especially in times like these. So, yeah, it was just at the right time, the right place, the right energy, and yeah, and then it came about.
Love it.
So by the way, we're like saying Newfest, but Newfest is really hard to get into. So let the record reflect that you were programming Newfest. But I want to talk about kind of like process a little bit, if you allow me,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
what I enjoy about your film is that you didn't let the medium kind of dictate how you put together your voice, right? And so it's interesting that you pick poetry as the main diction of your movie. And that is something that I feel like should not be unspoken because, you know,
Mhm.
we that are also not only European but also African, but also indigenous, that was something that is very intrinsical to the original communities. And
Yes,
I just feel
yes.
like um, um, somebody so young having that kind of connection, it's so interesting to me. And I want to know a little bit about how you went about deciding that that was you call it like a non-narrative, but it is your narrative, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's so fascinating, how we are continuously called back to our ancestry, because I'm writing a new project and I really want it to be a drama, not like an experimental poetry work.
Sure.
But like I'm showing it to people and they're all like, "Oh my God, this is so poetic." Like, "Oh my God, the poetry." And I'm like, "No, like I'm trying to, like, do something more straightforward." But I do think that it lives within us.
Mhm,
I think all of my greatest inspirations have a poetic sensibility at the very least. Um, and I come from a space of spoken word. Um, I started, performing at places like Bowery Poetry and like different just like open mic stuff that was happening
mhm,
in the city. Um so that was where I was grounded in, and actually where Steve saw me and I was doing a performance
Yeah.
piece that was, part spoken word. Um but
And very
I think
theatrical as well.
but like, at that time I did feel like, I don't know, I wanted something that was um a little bit bigger, I guess, and
mhm,
maybe a little bit more permanent too. And I think also, like, stepping away from being the face of my work as well and really wanting to,
mhm,
like, step into, like, the role of a writer, and a
mhm.
director, um, and a poet. I think that's always going to be, something that lives within me.
So I want to kind of expand a little bit on what you said. So do you feel like with your work, you're also documenting part of your work, and that's part of why you pick film? Or when you talk about
Yeah.
documenting, can you expand a little bit about that? Because that's really interesting, I think.
Yes, totally. I'm so big on, like, archival work,
Hmm.
and I think what I'm trying to archive is the connective tissue between like, where we are now and, like, where we come from, and, like,
Mhm.
where that is sort of, like, conflicting, um, at the moment. So, when I, have, like, just different ideas about that and different thoughts about it,
Sure.
um, it's like I need somewhere to put them down, and I need somewhere that I feel like, they can live and breathe and actually, like, be generative,
Absolutely.
to society. I think maybe that's what I was feeling, when I was doing spoken word. I'm like, this is great for me. Like, it's very, like, excavative and vulnerable and cathartic. But, like, after this moment, in this room, like, everybody's going home and they're going back to their lives, and, it's over.
Right, right, right.
Maybe that's a little bleak, but maybe that's how I
No,
was
it's
I was
true.
feeling at the
That's
time.
kind of like the curse, right, of the live experience versus film. And then you're trying to really have what I like is just that this mixed media is just like so interesting because it really has tenfolds of the things that it
Yeah,
it
I
can
mean,
do.
the fact that, I premiered at Newfest in October, and now I'm
Mhm.
going to Frameline in June, it's like, it still
Maybe.
has a life, I can really feel, like, the pulse, and
Yeah.
Mhm.
that's something that, spoken word, like, never gave me, so, me
I can't think of a
personally, and I'm
I can't think
grateful.
of a better time for this to come out though with transgender rights. I mean, I was just watching a piece with Laverne Cox who said she
I
spent
just
so
saw her
much.
yesterday at the
Oh my
Strand.
Oh.
god, she has a new book. Yeah.
Mhm,
She was
mhm.
talking about for so long she tried to tell her story, and now a lot of funding has been cut and she's not able to do a lot of that, and she's lost a lot of money. But I think we need to be hearing about it. This particular film, Artifice, seems to follow. There's different characters, but there's one in particular that's through the entire piece, 13 minutes of it, and it's a transgender piece, I feel. And there was a few pieces lines that I wrote down that I just thought really resonated,
Mhm.
that even though it's one person's experience, it resonated with me as a gay man, and I can't help but think that people of color or anybody that just feels different. And one of
Yeah,
them
yeah.
that you wrote was, "What can you know about a person? They shift in the light. You can't light up all sides at once. Add a second light, and you get a second darkness. It's only fair." And the other one was running from sheep, which I really thought of. "Never afraid of wolves, a free spirit locked in a bird's cage. I'm 1,000 different people. All of them are real. This time I'm not running away." And without giving away too much, I feel like your film is dark at times and it takes you through this person's journey, but it does ultimately end, I feel, on a high positive note, whatever that means to a viewer. But what would you say to all that?
Mhm. Mm, I would say that I was sitting with so much, when I was making it, and I encourage the audience to sit with all of that, with me and with themselves, and I think at the end of the film, not to give away too much, but that's what's happening, and I think the ability to sit with different emotions and experiences and a personal history that is, complex,
Very
is
complex.
difficult,
Yeah,
so to just be able to, like, tilt your head back and, reflect and,
yeah.
find somewhat of a calm.
Well,
um
poetry to me is like music, and your film is, I mean, totally different planes. But my husband went to a new Madonna 13-minute film recently, and they got to watch it at the beginning and at the
Oh,
end of our interview. And different things sit in differently, and music inspires you in different ways. And I had the
yeah.
privilege of watching your film twice. I watched it in the morning, and then I watched it a little bit later.
Thank
And
you.
it sat with me throughout the day. I kept thinking about it, but then I let it go and I had all this normal stuff I had to do. And then I revisited it. And then it just gave me new, I saw different things. And so I hope that after you run the game, because it sounds like you're running the gamut of film festival land, which is amazing that people will get to experience it, and it has a release date for all to consume.
Thank you. You know, I think after Frameline, I'm going to start putting it out on different platforms. You know, I would love to get some sort of distribution, but
Sure.
it's hard with experimental film. That's why I'm writing this next project. That's a drama.
Mhm.
So I might not have to deal with that. But yeah, I want people to see it at this point. You know, I think no gatekeepers, you
Yeah.
know, no industry barriers. Just like, you know, I want to connect with real people who can extract something, you know, from what I was experiencing at the time.
Yeah, and your film really connects with the community because everybody can take. I mean, it's so packed with just so this amazing poetry that you have that I feel like everybody can connect with, even if not the whole film, but the moments, because you do have a ton of moments. That's why I kind of I'm telling like that. You say there's not a narrative, but there is a narrative, and it's all of that. It's very present, and I feel like we all connect in different ways. But the thing is, what I like about this film and you, it's that you had the experience, right, and now you get to heal while you can still be presenting it. Because when we're doing spoken word theater, it's really
Yeah,
hard to do that, right? Because it's the constant
totally.
like given.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I mean, I made this film about a year ago this
mhm,
time, and now when I watch it, I connect with certain parts more than others. So I can
mhm,
completely understand the audience's experience a little more now of like,
right.
you know, that the ebb and flows of like, oh wow, like I'm right here in this moment, you know, and maybe
Can I
this
ask one
moment
more
is for
question?
somebody else. Yeah, of course.
So, when you're doing spoken word, that's obviously you're performing. So, in
Right,
this film, you're
right.
intentionally not in the film. Um,
Mhm,
so how was
mhm.
that kind of putting like basically yourself, a version of yourself, I think, from
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
untrained audience that only seen the film a couple times. Um, what? How is that process for you? Um, and I want you to tie it into community and the healing thing because I think that that's important for our audience.
Mm, mm. You know, number one, I want to say I still do spoken word. I'm not anti spoken word. But I do really appreciate the art of directing
Hmm.
and really being able to be more of a vessel for what I'm trying to experience and what I'm trying to relay. Um, yeah, I think I think it's really interesting, how it all plays out as a director. I don't love being in front of the camera.
Okay.
I'll say that. It's a weird experience for me because I do censor myself as a writer, you know, first and
Mm.
foremost. Um, you know, I feel what I'm writing very heavily. You know, you did kind of clock me when you were like, "It's a version of you." And it is in a way.
Right.
Or it's multiple versions of me, right? And,
Right.
you know, maybe I wanna keep those to myself. I
Sure.
think especially when, you know, all my tea is kind of already in the writing as it is.
Right. Right.
So I have respect for the girls like Issa Rae, you know, who can spill their tea and put their face right in front of it and, you know,
Yeah.
make that work. But I don't know. I also don't know how well you can direct yourself. You know,
Yeah.
like there are
Really hard.
certain
Yeah.
places that I wanted, the lead actress to go to that,
Mhm.
I maybe didn't trust myself to go to that place, so I'm like, I want to make sure that somebody else, can get to this place.
Can I ask you one more thing?
Yes, of course, of course.
That's
So,
why he's here.
yeah, because I'm curious about your process because you're talking about the writing, but your writing is the way that you put together this film. Um, it's like an additional track, right? So it's not playing as you're filming the the actual visuals, right? So do you edit as you're editing the? This is like a very technical part of me,
Yeah,
everybody,
yeah,
but let me
Well,
yeah.
nerd out for
Teddy
a second.
actually was going to say we should
Mhm,
mention that
mhm,
the also is the director, it's his poetry, and
mhm.
you're the editor as well. I mean, along your
Mhm.
Right.
question, Teddy, was in the beginning, is that your voice reading your poetry or an actor? And then
It's
answered
my
the
it's my voice all the way
I thought
through.
so. Oh, it's your voice
Yeah,
throughout
I,
through. I thought so.
there,
So
Yeah,
you do have
that's
a
what I
part
there,
was
in the
there,
gonna
film,
ask
there's
yeah.
some
you.
manipulation. There's some manipulation going on,
Right.
but
Yeah,
Got it.
that's what I
Yeah.
was gonna ask you. If you're editing your, like, I'm talking about the writing specifically. If you're editing your
hmm
writing as you're putting together the film, or you're editing, you already have like a set poetry that you're putting
Ooh, I
together
get what
to
you're
the film.
saying. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
that's a really good question.
You
I
don't have
did
to answer it, by
have
the way.
Yeah, I mean, I had a script, I had a screenplay put together, but as I'm sure y'all know, as you're a filmmaker yourself, when you're making a film, not everything goes as you plan. So,
Mhm.
there were certain parts of the screenplay that like didn't really make so much sense to me anymore based on the footage that I had.
Got it.
So I did kind of have to shift some of the writing, to make sense with the narrative that was actually building.
Okay.
One thing that I truly believe in is that you have to be a bitch to your work.
Mhm.
So if if I had stuck to the original writing I had, it wouldn't have been in favor to the footage that was actually in front of me. So there was new writing created in influence of, just seeing actually like everything I had like on DaVinci. But mostly everything was yeah, premeditated.
Got it. So there was like a
Yeah.
little bit of organic kind of like situation. We have
It was
one
it was
question
very
from the
organic.
audience.
It was very
Oh yeah.
organic.
Yeah. Cody Maurice asks if how do you come about directing and what sparked your interest in specifically directing?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think I really became interested in directing when I made my film in college, actually. I made like a stoner comedy. It was so random.
Love it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But it was just like for a final project, and everybody really loved it. And I think during the pandemic, I would look back at that project and I'd be like, this is really original, and I have like a true voice here.
Mhm.
And then I made my film Rapture with my friend Quinn, who I love and adore, but
Mhm.
I felt limited doing a
A collabo.
co-situation.
Well, on
Yeah.
that note with collab, because we would be
Mhm.
remiss if we didn't mention who, alongside your poetry, your directing, your editing, you have an amazing score that works with this film. You have a cinematographer that all
Thank
you
you.
shot. What can you
Thank
say about
you.
those people, plus the actors? But all of that comes together in this piece, and it's
Uh,
so good.
I I really could cry. I have a cancer, so
Oh,
I
Oh.
I
correct.
And on
I
that note,
get
we'll
like
bring up
that.
Cody to also Cody Maurice Doggett, a fellow Cancer. Hello.
Yay!
How's it
we we
going?
we were summoned with our Cancerian powers.
You said cancer, and I'm here. So,
We were
I
like,
Oh my
mean,
voila.
god.
there
Flow
she
the
is.
water.
Beautiful.
Hi, it's so good to see
Hi.
you.
So good to see you too. I love this like spiffy blazer
I
Oh, thank you.
know.
It's a
moment.
Very
shirt
Puerto
Steve told me
He's in
not to
Puerto
wear.
Rico.
I'm in Puerto Rico. It's a very Puerto Rican shirt. I would stand up,
Mm,
but we're interviewing you. You know what I'm curious about, and I wrote it in the comments.
yeah.
What drew you to directing? I'm on my phone, so.
Mm, yeah. What really drew me to directing, and I was just talking about this, I had made a film with my friend, and I was primarily the writer. I wasn't
Okay.
really the director. But I had felt limited in that box because I really just did feel like I had a voice and I had a
Hmm.
vision and I had something to say. I'm also like really influenced by fashion too. I think,
Mm.
I've
Well, we've
always
seen
been
you
kind
out,
of
so yeah.
yeah, I've always kind of been a fashion girl and I feel like, you know, it's been about storytelling for me. And I wanted a way to kind of like reclaim that for myself. I didn't just want to be like a doll like on somebody's rack. Like I really wanted to like have my own voice and like
Good.
Mhm.
tell my own story. Um so yeah, I think just from those thoughts, and those ideas, I was like, yeah, I need to start directing.
This is the way for you to reclaim and your
Love
story
it.
and really just put it out there to the world. I love that. I think
Yeah,
that's so beautiful.
thank you,
I mean, I
thank
can
you.
empathize with that. I could like totally see myself in so many things that you were saying in this interview. So thank you for your voice and thank you for sharing it with all of us.
And
Aw, you're a
yeah, and
sweetheart.
poetry, like music, is all about, depicting stories, different ways of telling story. And I think that's what you really do, it's a different way of telling a story. And we need to have different ways that come into our realm, not just straightforward. But I know I can't wait for your more straight ahead narrative, their
I
commercial
know.
piece
Yes,
Very
coming.
yes.
excited.
But I mean, well done, well done, Cody. You're gonna love this
Aw,
film.
I know. I
It's
haven't had a chance to look at
no,
it, but
it's
I'm
so
yeah,
definitely going to
sweet.
watch it.
really good, really
Okay,
good.
please, please. Yeah, like I said, it's gonna like come out like on some platform very soon. So
Love it.
yeah,
I already have an
stay
advance
tuned.
copy though.
No, please.
I
I love it for
love it.
everybody else.
Right. Okay. A little behind the scenes
You
moment.
know, girl. You know, I got the sources.
Yeah.
Okay.
Get your things, mama. Get your things.
Well, let's promote the film because those that are in San Francisco can see it, and I love that it's at the new Parkway, which I believe is in Oakland. Yes,
Yes, it's in
yes,
Oakland.
right down.
I'm also staying in Oakland when I'm there. So if y'all have any Oakland racks, please
I do. My sister's
let me
there. I
know.
can hook you up. I love Oakland. It's my favorite. It's kind of perfect that it's in Oakland, actually. It's part of Frame Lines,
Mm.
new coming out, and it's playing June 22nd, 8:30 p.m. to 10:30, called Trans New Weird Shorts. Were you okay with that title, the New Weird Shorts?
I have my complications with it.
I
A
kind of
nervous
did too when I
giggle.
read that. I was like in a state of like, we're trying to get I mean, do we need to
Mhm.
say weird? I mean,
Yeah.
I have a
Yeah.
complicated history with the word weird, but what do you say
Right.
to
Yeah.
it?
Right. You know, I've seen a lot of films weirder than mine, films that are
So have
are
I,
are
and
tra-
yours is
aren't
not
trans
weird.
at
Yeah.
all. So yeah, that didn't really click for me. Um, but what I will say is that, trans people are making work of like all different variations.
Mhm.
And I think it's important, to have, trans stories of like some sort of like normalcy and mundanity. Because I don't think those kind of stories always get platformed, you know, sometimes it's
Yeah.
like, okay, now do the thing, you know, talk about the thing, you know,
Right.
like give us the moment. But we deserve to, you know, just have like love stories and like workplace comedies and, you know, just random
Yeah,
shit.
rom-coms. Yeah.
All the things. And that's on J-Lo,
Yeah,
okay?
I was just gonna say that's so funny. We were just talking about that, Cody.
Call us J-Lo.
J-Lo doesn't need to
That's
dominate
right.
the whole platform of that, but yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
We
Well,
got
we wanna
stories too.
We got stories too. Well, we want to thank you so much. I'm not only excited about this, but I'm excited about people watching this film. It's called Artifice. We, of course, will promote it when it's out. If you're in San Francisco, it's June 22nd. Go to Frameline Film Festival, the website, to get more information. Hopefully, you can get tickets to it still. And congratulations. It's a huge feat to get into not only Newfest, but Frameline. I know Teddy knows this for sure. We used to cover film, and this is the premiere. It's like you are on a roll. I cannot wait to see what's to come from you, Theros, beyond this. I'm excited. So
I know.
congratulations.
Steve, Patty, Cody, I appreciate y'all so much for platforming me. For real. Y'all, I just have so much respect for you. Like every single one of you. You know,
Thank you. And
y'all
is
are
there any way
iconic.
you want people to follow
Thank you.
you
Likewise.
in any kind of social media that
Starveling Moon. I can drop it in the
drop it?
comments.
Yeah. And we'll
Yes.
put it
Yeah.
on, please, because that would be great.
On Instagram is where I follow them.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Starveling Moon.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Absolutely. Put it in
I
there.
I don't know how to do the comments on this. This is my
I'll
first
do it. You're
podcast.
gonna see my face.
Thank God
Cody
for
will put it.
Cody for saving the day on that one. And
No, I found it.
congratulations.
I
Oh, you
found
found it?
it.
Okay, good.
Okay.
And we'll, of course, list it on show notes. If you're watching the show or listening to the show, go to our show notes. I like it. It's very specific. StarVligmoon. Say it for us, Starveling Moon.
Starveling Moon. Yes, it
Fabulous.
comes from a Shakespeare play.
Of course it
Midsummer's Night's
does.
Dream. Yes.
Amazing. Thank you,
Yeah.
Thee.
Oh my
And
God, thank you
congratulations.
so much.
Enjoy the film fest.
Oh my God, thank you so much. I will be hitting you up for those Oakland racks.
Yes, please.
And Teddy, next time I'm in LA, if I end
know.
up going to
Yes.
Cal Arts.
If you're in Cal Arts, we definitely have to get together.
Yes, I will hit you up. All right, thank
Bye,
you all so
Steve.
much again. Blessing.
Okay, lovely.
How do I end?
I think.
Okay, here we go.
Can you mute his? Oh,
Yeah, I muted
right?
everybody.
Yeah. Oh, great. And, oh my God, that was so good, right?
It was so much fun. Oh my God.
So much fun.
I wanted to add one more thing.
Please.
In the program, even though
Yeah.
like some marketer put it weird, there's also 9 other trans filmmakers that are putting their short films in there. So that's a really good opportunity. It's 11 days also of other films that are all LGBT. So it's like it's worth a good trip, like up there to Oakland.
Yeah.
So for
And
sure.
New Parkway is down the street from where my sister used to live, and it's a great indie theater that I couldn't think of a better place. In Oakland, I just love, shout out to Oakland. It's, producing a lot of good work, and people often overlook it over San Francisco. Nothing against San Francisco, but I just love Oakland. So this is awesome. So check that out. Well, now we've got to get into some hot topics. And you, Teddy, along with Cody, we're talking about Pride Month, celebrating Pride, what Pride means to you. We carried it over into the last episode. And I wanted to just read something recently of 2 additional things. I was watching an interview today with the actor, actor Harvey, can you say his name? Guillén? Guillén. Yes, Harvey Guillén,
Yeah.
who is in Rocky Horror Picture Show, the revival on Broadway right now, that I'm going to see with my sister when she comes next month. And I'm super excited. But when they were asking him on The View earlier today, they asked him, what would be your message in this time to LGBTQ folks during Pride Month as an out actor? And he said, we focus a lot. I would make it to the people that are struggling to come out and not use
Mhm.
that word come out. And I would change it to let you in. It's like, I let you into my home. So when I let you in, please be cautious. In other words, and when you like take that into consideration, if I choose to let you in versus this pressure to come out. And that really resonated with me. It resonated with the host of The View. And what do you think of that? You saw it as well, let you in, and pretty profound.
Mhm. It was literally the highlight of my morning. I think
Me
that
too.
the framing of it, it's like for all these years we've been really centering other people into our sexuality, right? We're coming out to them, but letting you in, it centers that into us, right? Into the being that we are. And I like that that reframing, because you know, we these times are trying, and we do need to pick who we let in, even in 2026. So
Yeah, I think he
um
went on to say that, coming out has this intonation that you are coming up, but most of us have been struggling or dealing with who we are for years and years
mhm,
as younger people. And we've had this period of time that we've been dealing with ourselves and who we really are.
absolutely.
So to then feel this need to have to tell all these people, I came out to my mom or let her in, which I love Harvey's
Uh-huh.
words, later in life. It was like maybe 15 years ago. I was already in my 40s, and it was the right time. It
Mhm.
felt right. And her response was better than I could have ever imagined. And
Mhm.
it just, yeah, it was a timing thing. So,
Right.
yeah, I really like that. And then on the other spectrum, there is a viral tweet that's gone viral again from
Mhm.
George Michael, who we love, who we
Yeah.
lost too early. But this was a tweet that's again gone viral now, and I love it. He said back in 2011, I have never and will never apologize for my sex life. Gay sex is natural, gay sex is good. Not everybody does it, but haha. And of course, he's referencing his
Mhm.
iconic song, I Want Your Sex, which I remember buying the 45 record, which I think I have over there, that
Mhm.
just I brought it to my theology class, of all things, in 8th grade. I was in 8th
What?
grade, and we had to present something in pop culture that expressed ourselves on from pop culture to, I don't know what the assignment was, but mine was I Want Your Sex. And it was theology class. And do you know that my theology teacher loved that I played the record, my 45 record, and said he's
Uh-huh.
just being honest and he's being real.
Mm.
And my theology teacher was like all about it. I mean, okay, I knew I was gay then.
Theology, I mean,
It's a stretch, but she was a really cool in a Catholic school of all places. So to hear him say
Mhm.
that, this is post him getting arrested in for doing acts that I've done before in a public
Right.
bathroom. And he also made a song about it. What do you say to George Michael and this viral tweet that people are embracing now?
Well, first, your mom not knowing that you're gay with that 45
Well,
with George Michael
but
in
with
8th grade.
thank you. I don't know that they knew that I did that.
That's
I may
crazy.
have kept that secret, but also
Mhm.
them not knowing, but without me
Yeah, for
letting
40
them
years, yeah.
in. Yeah,
Yeah, you're not the main, but
yeah.
yeah, I mean, I think George Michael, an icon in life, an icon in death. Like, you know, we have to remember that he got arrested for cruising in a bathroom while we like let like literally sexual abusers and then their abhorrent behavior just go on unchecked. So I like that tweet. I hope it keeps being viral. every year, because it is true what we do is consenting, and there's nothing criminal or wrong about it. It should be celebrated. So happy Pride,
Yeah,
George, up there.
it's better than our tagline that we say at the end: "Continue having hot gay sex." It's unapologetic. It resonated with me, and it's worth mentioning. So shout out
Yeah.
to George above us and Harvey, who's creating new art today. And you can see him, of course, in the Rocky Horror Picture Show Revival on Broadway, which I will be going soon. So check that out. Keeping things moving now. This is really interesting. It just came in. San Francisco, where I'm originally from, is in the Castro, the iconic Castro area, where a lot of Frameline will be held. Gay bars have TSA style face scanners. There's a handful of neighborhood bars that have installed facial recognition devices that collect and share customers' names, addresses, genders, and indiscretions with each other. Now, some of the bars that have, it's called Patron Scan Guard. It's a Canadian company, and bars like Badlands and there's Toad Hall on 18th Street are all sharing this information. Essentially, if you've done any wrongdoings, had bad behavior, it will show up on this thing. But it's basically using facial recognition, like like when you TSA it. I'm a little perplexed, especially San Francisco. Now, I know they're the tech capital, so there's that reasoning why they would have this. But San Francisco doesn't seem very San Francisco to me, because basically when you take someone's ID, it should show if you have a criminal record. There's also cameras everywhere. That I go to the New York Eagle here, and if there's somebody that's done something wrong, it will clock them, their security. What do you say to this? Are you, ugh.
Well, I'm always like looking at what other countries have done. There's a lot of countries in Europe that has banned this technology, by the way. And when that's already very telling of that, because the problem with it, it's framed as this security, basically like surveillance, right? And it's framed as, oh, if people are doing bad behavior, you can actually match their face and have like ongoing list of people that are like, okay, this
But
person
then
got
you're sharing it with the other bar,
well, but the thing is,
and
what
there's no
my problem
consent,
is,
though, right?
well, the consent is like really vague, because it's a sign that they post that is like really small. But also, what about the misuse of this? We were already talking about, people's medical records
Right.
being
We're going to get to that.
shared by other, like with the agencies, which is illegal, by the way. So one prevents a bar like to share information with places that they shouldn't be sharing it, right? So that's always and we have a constitution that allegedly
Protects
protects
us.
privacy, especially privacy. Like it's one of the amendments. So it's kind of like against some of the principles that we in this country are supposed to have as our liberties. So that's what
Yeah,
I'm concerned about.
I don't like it. I don't like, San Francisco for all its liberalness, and they are also the first to adopt a lot of these things. Waymo, I'm not getting in one of those cars with no driver, not in this lifetime.
Yeah.
And I'm old school that way. I'm sorry. Take my ID, scan it, make sure I don't have a criminal record. We already know that most of the bars have either security or cameras in there, and security needs to just do a good enough job. But now gay bars we're already nervous about our information on Grindr being shared, and then we're about to do a story. We can just do it right now about Mount Sinai.
Can I add something?
Yeah, add one more, and then
So let's remove criminal behavior from the equation for a second, just so I can make a point.
Because
like
they
a
said
greater
bad
point.
behavior, just quote
Right.
unquote.
So
Yeah.
let's remove that. So, for example, I go to a gay bar, and now there's an image a lot of images because this is face scanning. So of me in Hamburger Mary's,
Okay,
right?
just to yeah.
And then somebody that works at the bar is like, isn't that teacher from that school? And then they send
Right.
that image when I'm like, there's no reason for them to even know that I'm going to Hamburger Mary's on a Saturday, right? So all of those things have
Big
consequence.
Brother.
Yeah, and so who has access to that is very important. So that's the point that I'm trying to make. Because of course, if you're talking about like, oh, somebody got murdered, and then you see that's a different story. But we're talking about them having access to everything all the time. Go ahead.
Yeah, and this is in addition to the cameras that are already probably positioned in the bar. This is a specific
Hmm.
thing when you walk in. This is in separate from when you give your ID, which we always have to give our ID to make sure we're of age and all that. Doug,
Hmm.
watching us live right now, says, plus the AI facial recognition isn't always accurate. True. And I can see some future issues. I mean, San Francisco once again started Waymo, the non-driver Uber situation.
Hmm.
And my friend was just telling me, "Oh, I'm such a fan of it. I love it." It's like, yeah, I've seen it crash and I've seen a
Yeah.
lot of horror stories. Cody says, our co-host, lovely. Can a man just love a good burger? Love that. Yes, I know. It's just, which brings us to sharing information. There's New York City here bring it back to here. New York City leaders are denouncing a hospital, some of Mount Sinai, where, a few years ago, I broke my ankle and they asked me I went to a clinic just to have it checked out. They said, you broke your ankle. You got to go to one of the major hospitals. There's like 3, Lenox. There's a few others. Well, one of them
Hmm.
is Mount Sinai that we're talking about here. I went to that one. Mount Sinai Hospital system of failing transgender patients after families were told medical records would be shared with the federal government, which is really the New York City Council's LGBTQ plus caucus said such a betrayal of medical privacy would contribute to an increasing hostile environment of trans youth. Let's be clear, transgender children are not political targets. Their private medical information should be exactly that, private. It should never be treated as evidence in a politically driven investigation, and hospitals entrusted with their care have a crucial responsibility, their dignity, privacy, and safety.
Hmm.
Well, it's been shared to federally, and I'm not sure exactly why. What do you say to this? I mean, why this is, and specifically trans
Right.
patients?
Well, 3 words: HIPAA, HIPAA, HIPAA. There is an act that literally protects medical records. So I am really surprised that not only these hospitals, that by the way, hospitals have a huge legal admin. A ton of things that they do is protect their ass to not get sued. Literally, this is a
Especially in
class
New York
action
City.
suit. Yeah, this is a class action suit like waiting to
Yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
Like
I
in a
don't
couple of
get
years,
it.
these people can get together and like literally drain them for millions of dollars because
I hope they
um
do.
what it literally, I believe that is a malpractice, because
Yeah.
when we're talking about people transitioning, and I know a lot of people think that transitioning is just taking some pills and having some surgeries. No, it's a wealth of treatment that you have to go through that includes mental health and a lot of things that you have to put in together. So they're putting the mental health of these people in danger, and also their bodies. So this is criminal, and
Yeah.
what they're doing is disgusting.
It's disgusting. It's representative of this administration. Mandami, we need to speak to him immediately. Maybe we can get him on the show. I doubt it, but
Get the
we can't.
mayor online, please.
Yes. This was really interesting to me. And, dating. There is a new trend out there. Fake it till you make it.
Oh my
Gen
goodness.
Z New Yorkers are going on practice dates with people they don't even like, in hopes that it prepares them for the ultimate person that they will, I'm sorry, who's got that kind of time to be going on practice dates? I mean, I would argue that any date is you don't know if you're really gonna like that person, right? I mean, I'm taking my glasses off too. Are we revealing one thing at a time? Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I I mean, you do have to go on a number of dates to find the prince, I guess, if you will, but
Yeah.
there was a story that you didn't wanna do that I'm gonna
Uh-oh.
reference right now
Uh-oh.
about, but it's why it made me think about this. It's Andy Cohen, after all these years, found the right man and blah, 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 but good for
Mhm.
him, and he said, "You know it when you know it." I went up to my husband now at the Eagle, and there was a spark immediately, and I just knew, and he always cites this, not me, that I told his friend that he's gonna be my boyfriend one day, and because I was that
Mm.
adamant, and lo and behold, be careful what you wish for, he became a husband.
No.
So I do think what Andy's saying is, and sometimes it takes us a little bit longer, and that's what he was trying to say, but what do you say about this new trend that New Yorker
Mhm.
Gen Zers are going on practice dates to prepare them for the one?
I mean, I don't are Gen Z's okay? Are you guys okay? What's happening? This is the thing. If you're devoid of social interaction, that's why you need to go to practice a date. The date, you just need to be yourself. I understand there's some like little kinks in here and there that you have to figure out. Like
Yeah.
you don't realize a movie's a bad date until you go to a movie and then you realize I couldn't talk to this person for 2 hours. Now it's super awkward. Like, but
Bad
those are,
bad place
but
to go on
not
a
that,
date with somebody. A
right?
movie.
So then, but the actual interaction that you see, we need to be removing ourselves more analog, please. We do need to have more contact that is physical and that actual
Yes.
conversations that is not via text. Um, and
Everybody's talking about that. I mean, from Scott Galloway, one of my favorite people that's really pushing that. Men need to, more straight men. But yes, we all need to get off our phones and connect and connect and connect. And I say a morning, whatever you want to call it, meditation prayer on, may I connect with those I come in contact with today. It's just very important to me. And so,
yeah,
yeah. But Cody, watching us
sure.
live, it
What
said,
does he
I
say?
always say yes to a free meal. Laughing out loud.
Mhm,
I mean, yeah, that's funny, Cody, because I once was at a dinner party, and
mhm.
out of nowhere came my friend's friend, and he just popped in. We were like maybe on finishing our main course, and this guy popped in, and they knew him, and he says, I'm going on all these dinner dates with different people because I don't know who I'm going to meet." And so he had a moment in time where he could like come and join us, and then he was going to go to a dinner. He was just dinner. I'm like, that's too many dinner dates, and the calories
Yeah,
galore. Sorry, I'm from LA originally, and we watch our
yeah,
calories, and so
sure.
I
But a
mean,
dinner date seems like
too
um
much.
it's the people don't go to like a stroller at the arcade anymore. I guess I'm like out of practice.
A
Like a dinner
walk,
is like a lock.
too
That's a
committed.
lock
I don't
two
know that I like
hours.
you enough to sit through my branzino or my, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't I have done that before, and it's like, God, this branzino would taste so much better with my BFF or,
Without this
my
person.
sister. Without this person, I'm like, I already could tell within, the first 10 minutes that nope, not a match.
I,
Yeah.
Cody Maurice keeps saying that he needs practice dates. That's why
Girl,
he's a serial dater. Girl, you
go
how
on speed
what
dating.
practice date?
I
You're in your
know.
40s. What the hell?
What are you Are you rusty,
Girl.
girl?
Cody, are you okay, girl?
Oh my gosh. Do we have time for advice and thirst
Yes.
trap? And I'll let you pick the advice we're gonna give.
Should we do the girl thing? I think we have some bisexual awareness that we should do
Let's
here.
do it. Do you want to read
Mhm.
it?
Oh, sure. Um,
Stand for
it's
the
really short. So my boyfriend and I opened our relationship.
Yes.
My boyfriend and I have been together about 4 years, and 6 months ago we decided to open our relationship. Before doing so, we had an honest talk about rules, expectations, safer sex, etc. A few weeks ago, a group of friends and I ended up back in the house after a night out. Long story short, I hooked up with a woman. My boyfriend wasn't there, but I told him about it the next day, and because that's what we agreed to. I expect him to laugh, but instead he got really upset. Any advice?
Oh, there is a whole population of our gay community that I'm just going to say that needs to really educate themselves about our growing acronym, including the T, transgender,
Sure.
bisexual,
Yeah.
that has prejudices towards things. If you open it up, you open it up. I would be happy. I mean, if they got together with a woman, a man, I would not have a problem with this. You're opening it up, and
Right.
we need to be a little bit more open-minded. And I was just talking to somebody in Iceland, of all places, and he saw some it was mostly queer people, and then there was a party that was a wedding party that was kind of coming, a bachelorette party, and
Hmm.
he's like, "Yeah, get out of our spaces." And I'm like, "Yeah, I don't love it when I see, a veil
Yeah.
and they're celebrating that, but I'm also not angry over it and get out, that kind of thing too." I might not
Hmm.
go there if I see a lot of that going on, but I think
Right.
we need to get over our anger over our spaces. And if you don't like the space, just go somewhere else. There's plenty of spaces that are maybe to your persuasion, but I don't like this attitude of gay men that like are against other parts of our acronym. What do you say to it?
Right. Oh, I agree. I when I was in college, I had a friend that was gay, and then, but he was bisexual. He always was bisexual, and then he
I thought
started
you were gonna
dating
say
a
in
girl.
band camp. I had the
In band camp, band camp.
yeah.
No, I wasn't that cool. And all of our gay friends stopped talking to him, and I was really flabbergasted. And I then most of them just didn't feel comfortable uh with him, which it's sad because I think we should really do embrace the full spectrum of our LGBT, but also talk it out, because if he has some feelings about him hooking up with a woman, that I think that's a healthy conversation that they should have. Um, and part of being in an open relationship, it's that there's some navigation of feelings that have to be done, right?
Oh,
So,
I've had to do it with my husband, and we had a rocky moment there, but
mhm,
we are in a good place with it. We have our situation, and it's ever revolving, as all things are. But
right,
right now, we're in a good place. But yeah, talk it out. We only have a little bit of time. We've got
yeah,
just enough time, though. And it's called
sure,
Thirst Trap, and it's back, and we want you to
mhm,
vote. I put it in the list. It's our job on an audio podcast. This is pretty much where this gets posted, to vividly describe that as 16 gay porn stars on a straight up gay porn. They get the top of the top. Who took the hottest pic? Who do you pick and
mhm.
why? You got to describe it vividly. Go ahead, Teddy.
I pick. Well, by the way, straight gay porn. We need more men of color here, more Hispanics, Latinx,
Okay.
please.
Sometimes it does
Bleach.
get today.
It
No.
gets bleachy. It gets bleachy, if you know what I
Bleachy.
mean.
I love that.
Bleachy. All
Bleachy.
right. My pick is Oliver,
Oh my
who
God. I
is
just picked him too right now,
you
but you
did. It's
describe
just
him
that
like somebody else.
I haven't seen an old school goatee that is like overgrown in a minute. You know what I mean? And he's like scruffy hair too, so it
Girl, but can
reminds
we
me.
talk about the thick cock?
Well, I mean, talk about cherry on top. It has a huge slong. It's curved up. One of my favorite features, and snatch and beautiful, and has a beautiful olive skin. So Oliver, snaps for you. Which one is yours?
I'm going to go with one of our viewers, Doug, who says Tyson Steven. And I'll describe it because Tyson is sitting back with glasses that we were both wearing. I don't know if you're still wearing your glasses, but
Yes.
readers, whatever. I have progressives now. And he's got a left sleeve tattoo and a right, and his quads are huge, very
Yeah.
good ink that goes all the way down. And he's got these dark green, silky underwear with his dick coming out to the left,
Yeah.
and great nipples, smooth, and giving like a serious look, but it looks very luxurious. He's in a really cool chair, and I vote for him as my pick. And yes, let us know who you
Yes.
pick. We'll post this on tags, our Patreon community. You can always go to patreon.com/tags podcast. Oh my gosh, this was so fun. We want to thank our special guest, The Rose, and his new film Artifice, which is at Frameline. You can follow Teddy at Teddy Alexis on Instagram. Anything you else want to plug? I know you're on holiday for the
I'm on a
summer.
holiday. Remember to give us a watch, a Cody Maurice video on
That
YouTube,
you
Proof of Love.
directed. Proof of
Yes.
Love. Teddy directed it. Absolutely. Thanks, Cody, for coming in. Enjoy Puerto Rico. Follow me on the gram. I am _Steve V. And in the meantime, continue having hot gay
gay
sex.
sex.
Lovely.
If you like the show, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe. It really does help the show to grow. Thank you for listening.